Hi, Mrs. Betlach back with you. I'm going to walk you through my own culture collage. So remember that I was giving you directions on how to create your own. Well, this is mine. Now, I know I'm a little bit older than you, so try not to make fun of my slides and what I've chosen here. But if I were to choose what was most impacting when I was 14 or 15, your age, a long time ago, I would say education was most important. I totally internalized that I was expected to go to college and that I was free to choose where I wanted to go, but it was a must that I was going to go. I graduated from St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota. That's the image over here. They have a lot longer winter than we do here in Northern Illinois. And after the Bachelor's of Arts, I went on to study 2 more years at Beloit College and received a BS and an MAT. This is Bachelor's of Science and Master's of Arts in Teaching. And well, I picked a spring picture here of Beloit College, so it looked a little bit more enticing. Second, I think family was most impactful when I was your age. So my dad encouraged involvement in sports. And so therefore, I have a really deep love of sports. While my mom loved the fine arts, she wanted me to be in music and theater and so on. But as role models, I had the polar opposites. Family dinners were regimented. At 5:30 every night, we sat down as a family for dinner. Since my mom was busy with her studies, she was studying to be a clinical psychologist. And starting in 3rd grade, I was the cook, and my mom was the cleanup crew. From age 13 to 17, I worked 50% of my entire summer for my dad. So I put economy here as 3. So I started making money at 13. And I know the requirements and the regimen of all that may have changed over the years, so it's not quite the same for you. But I was trained to work as a chairside assistant and run the office of my father's dental practice in Beloit, Wisconsin. And I was the fill-in help when the employees wanted to take time off. And during the school year, I volunteered as a coach for Special Olympics. All right, so this last volunteer work is not paid, but I was paid during the summer, and I had a bank account from age 13. I put religion as number 4. So when I was your age, my father expected us to attend church every Sunday. I became the children's choir teacher, volunteered in the nursery, and was active in the youth group because if you chose those options, sometimes you'd have to be in the sanctuary, and that to me was better passing the time. I put number 5 for language. So language to me is communicating with friends, but there were no cell phones when I was your age in the late 70s and early 80s. And I used pencil and paper to communicate with some pen pals overseas. My German teacher helped us connect with some pen pals, and every other week we were communicating. It was really great fun. I put clothing as 6th most important. When I was your age, when I was 14, I got my first pair of jeans. My mother sewed my clothes until I was in 9th grade. So be happy that you get to go to stores and buy your clothes. I celebrated being like everyone else with those jeans. Those jeans made me so happy. Also, hoodies made me very happy too. So my mother dressed up, and so dressing down was sort of like a form of rebellion. I was able to express myself as the sports lover, and that was actually a form of rebellion. I ranked food as 7th. When I was your age, my favorite night for food was Friday night because we would either pick up a pizza from Domenico's in Beloit, Wisconsin, or go out. So that means I didn't have to cook. So remember back from 3rd grade on, I had become the cook because my mom was in school working on her degree. Now, you might find this funny that a social studies teacher ranks government as least important, but when I was your age, my family never talked about government or politics or candidates running for office. In school, I don't remember ever there being an openness to talking about these topics. I did take part in a leaflet drop with a friend's father that was running for the school board. He was a Beloit College professor. We ran all over the city of Beloit. He was also a member of the cross country team. So going door to door was really fun and athletic. So these are my 8 slides. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the 2 more that I added at the end. You need to interview somebody that is older than you, so the next generation, a parent, an aunt and uncle, or a grandparent. So I interviewed my mom and I asked her about family. And so I chose the topics that I posed to her and I asked her to talk about when she was like in 9th grade, freshman in high school, what her experience was with these aspects of culture. So when my mom was 14, she had already lost her mom. So her mom died at 12. And she shared a household with her stepmom and step siblings. So family at that time was the source of most things. This would have been in the 1940s. Yes, 1940s. So fun and socializing had to do with family. She had many chores around the house and wouldn't think of disobeying because her stepmother ruled really with an iron fist. Then I asked her about education. So you can, I want to repeat, you can either choose the topics you ask the next generation, or you can ask them out of that list of 8 what they want to tell you about. Okay. So here's a really interesting story about my mom. So going to college meant for the first time, my mom could make decisions for herself. She loved college, but said that the counselors really were guiding girls to get a teaching license, even if they said they weren't interested in being a teacher or didn't want to follow that career path. They were quite influential about girls getting a teaching license. So my mom did become a teacher before she went back to school to become a clinical psychologist. And one more thing that's highly interesting, the stepmother did not want my mother's mother, so my grandfather, to pay for her education. She wanted to save that money to invest in other things. And my grandfather stood up for my mother and said, no, she will go to college like her brothers and get a college degree. And so he was really adamant that she be treated equally as her brothers. And I know that to this day, she thanks him and is grateful for that. Okay, good luck making your own culture collage. We are really excited to see what you create.